Hello and welcome. My name is Gino Barbaro, one of the co-founders of Jake and Gino and the creator of the Baby Money Soldier concept. Now, if you don't remember what a Baby Money Soldier is, let me dive in real quick. This is $1, a Baby Money Soldier. Every dollar that comes into your life, I want you to think of it as your Baby Money Soldier. You've worked so hard to make this money. Now, what do you do with your baby money soldiers? Use some for expenses, some for fun, luxuries. You invest some, you save some, you may give some for charity. There's some for education, whatever it looks like. The goal to become a wealthy person with the wealthy mindset is to be able to get your baby money soldiers and deploy them in the most efficient way so they are able to procreate and to create more baby money soldiers. Not much of a difference between poor mindset and wealthy mindset. The huge difference is that the wealthy defer their gratification. They understand how to deploy those baby money soldiers to let them grow. I shouldn't have said there isn't that much of a difference. There's a huge chasm between the difference. But when you're looking at it and you're thinking about it, we always get these poor connotations of poor versus wealthy. All I'm talking about mindsets, and the middle class is stuck in the middle. The middle class is there to save baby money soldiers. They're putting money in a 401k, a 529. Great, it's okay, but it's so long term and it's so inefficient. And it seems as if you're living paycheck to paycheck. And one other thing, don't confuse poor and wealthy with the paycheck, because I know a lot of individuals who are making seven figures and living not paycheck to paycheck, but they feel as if they're barely getting by. They just haven't been taught how to deploy their baby money soldiers more efficiently. And on this lesson today specifically, we're going to talk about how to expand your baby money soldiers. There are ways to expand them, not by just traditionally investing. We're going to give you other techniques, other strategies on how to get that baby money soldier and not just use it on an expense, but how are you making that money? How are you actually making more baby money soldiers? The first one, it seems pretty obvious. Get another job. I got another job. When I was at the restaurant, I ended up getting another job. Well, for me, it was a side hustle, but when I call it a side hustle, I started investing in real estate. But if you're out there and you're working a W-2, possibly become an Uber driver, become a commission salesperson. I mean, I heard Dave Ramsey saying, and I don't agree with a lot of what he says, but he does have a lot of truth and there's a lot of power to what he says, especially if you're starting out. He has his students and members go out and getting pizza delivery. You make another 10, 15 bucks an hour, and it doesn't allow you to go spend money, but it's really interesting. And I'm going to give you one more example. We had Brad Lee, the Brad Lee, on the Jake and Gino show, and he spoke at MM6 as well. Brad Lee said that when he was building Lightspeed, he needed to go back and get a job because he couldn't make payroll with Lightspeed. And he crushed it ultimately at Lightspeed. He's created 5 or 6 businesses. He's hundreds of millions of dollars. The guy is super successful. He's building an amazing brand. But if Brad Lee can go back and get another job to support what he's doing with his entrepreneurial gig, don't you think that you and me, we can do it as well? So don't discount that. He needed to create more baby money soldiers to fuel his business. Now, the second one, become a consultant, become a coach. It seems as if there are thousands and thousands of coaches out there. My wife became a coach several years ago. It's a great way, and I don't want to call it a side gig because side gig diminishes it. But my wife is able to earn income to be able to utilize a skill that is so needed in this world and to help transform lives. So if you're looking at that and you want to go into another venture, think about becoming a consultant in the profession that you're in. If you want to become a business consultant, great. If not, think about life coaching. It's an amazing venture. My wife also became a high performance coach through Brendan Burchard's program, High Performance Academy. Great platform that if you have no skills, you don't know what you're doing, Brendan Burchard basically gives you the playbook. Now, she loves life coaching, but she's going to implement high performance coaching into her coaching as well. So think about being a consultant. And what I would say, as you're listening to this, one of my favorite books that Jake and I ever read and did content on was The Richest Man in Babylon. A lot of these principles we're taking from The Richest Man and we're just putting them into financial sense. A lot of the laws that we talk about, a lot of the skills that we learn, they're very simple. They're in The Richest Man. So go and take a look at George Clayton's book, The Richest Man in Babylon. If you haven't read it, pick it up, read it. It's an amazing read. Now, the next one, you may think I'm crazy about this one, but open an Amazon store. It's incredible. Buy right, manage right, finance right. What does that have to do with an Amazon store? It has everything to do with an Amazon store. Our member, JD Allen, emailed me a couple weeks ago and says, Gino, I'm buying an Amazon store. He's going to be able to buy a business online, and he's going to have a business that's cash flowing. He's buying it right, he's financing it right, and the third party's managing it right. So possibly another venture for you to be able to create more baby money soldiers that when you get them, what are you going to do with them? You're going to get those extra baby money soldiers, save them, and put them into an asset. And that's something I should have forgotten. Let me take a step back. If you're living at baseline right now and you're making $50,000, $100,000, and you're living on that salary, anything that you're making above what you're earning right now should all be going into what I call a financial freedom account. That's an account that you're saving, and that money you're saving, that account, it's earmarked for one thing and for one thing only. It's for your financial freedom, and it's for you to invest in assets that will create more baby money soldiers, that will then be able to put into more assets that will create more baby money soldiers. Now, from the Amazon store, let's jump into vacation rentals. What a great avenue. If you live in a town, I live in St. Augustine. It's an amazing place to pick up vacation rentals, and they've boomed over the last several years because of that loophole that people like to call a loophole, but it's in the tax code, where if you are a resident, you're managing your own vacation rentals, short term, and you're actively managing them, you can become what they call a real estate professional as designated by the tax code, and any depreciation that you have from cost segregation or whatever, you're able to write that off of active income versus your active losses. It's an amazing tool that a lot of people have used to be able to keep more of their baby money soldiers. So the vacation rental that you pick up may not be generating a lot of cash flow, but if you're managing it and you can call yourself a real estate professional, look it up. Go back to the podcast that we've done. Look up a gentleman named Mark Kohler, Kohler. I was on his show. Tax guru, also Brandon Hall, another phenomenal accountant. Go check out Brandon Hall as well. They talk about cost segregation. They'll teach you the benefits of it. And maybe that vacation rental may actually make you start stacking more of your baby money soldiers to save. Turo. How many of you heard Turo? You can actually go out, buy cars, lease them, and then go on Turo and rent those cars to people. And the spread you make is yours. I had a Jake and Gino member out in California. At the time, it was about 3 years ago, he was buying Porsches 911s. He knew what they cost. He knew what his monthly number was. And then he'd rent them they were, to me, ungodly sums of money. Why would you want to rent a Porsche for, a day? I guess I can see the allure of it. But he said in California, what people would do is, LA, people love to be seeing these beautiful cars. Well, people do photo shoots. They'd be driving around for the day. They couldn't afford the car, but they'd want to rent it for a few $100 a day. That was an amazing cash flowing business that he had. So if you're looking for another side gig, Turo might be the side gig. This next one, not really crazy about it, but if you like stock trading, maybe you think about short-term stock trading. It's one of those things that's, it's every day. You've got to be on all the time. But maybe that's a way. And if you like crypto, maybe you want to trade crypto as well. Another way to create those baby money soldiers there, get them and redeploy them into saving for assets. Fixing and flipping homes is my next choice. What a great way to start in real estate. Go out, you buy your first home. And let me put a little caveat in there. You're buying your first home, you live in it for a couple of years. Well, when you sell it, you may get a capital gains savings on that. Now, once again, go consult with your accountant. But if you live in for 2 years and you're married, you may be able to save up to $500,000 in capital gains. So that may be a way for you to house hack your way to saving those baby money soldiers so that you can go into another venture once again. But if not, maybe you just go and fix and flip homes. And as you're doing that, continue to get those capital gains from those baby money soldiers from those homes. Take that money and save it. And I think this last one is where I think most of us as entrepreneurs want to aspire to. Think about buying a business. A business is a great way to be able to create baby money soldiers from that business. And your goal is always to continue to buy assets. You want to buy those assets that produce the equity or the cash flow that will increase your baby money soldiers so you can take those baby money soldiers and redeploy them. You keep hearing me say take and redeploy them. I was stuck in that middle class mindset for so many years, and there's nothing wrong with it until you wake up one day and you say, I was built for more. You were built for more. We were all built for more. I was living in scarcity. I was saving for the rainy day. And what happens when that rainy day comes, you don't feel like taking that money out because you're living in scarcity. Once I understood that I had to save my money, not for the rainy day, but to buy an asset that produces cash flow for that rainy day. And then the cash flow that I don't use for the rainy day, I can live off of it and I can continue to buy more assets. My mindset and my life completely changed. And that's what I want for you. Learn how to expand your baby money soldiers, save them to continue to buy assets. I want to thank you for listening and for being part of the show today. And more importantly, just for taking some of your time out to listen to this important message. It's about financial freedom, because I always like to say people with financial intelligence can change the world for the better. And I will see you on next week's show. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed today's video, be sure to like and subscribe so you'll never miss another episode.